Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Between Two Brokers. It is January, and clearly I'm freezing my ass off because I'm wearing my coat inside.
I have the heat on and a fire going.
Yes.
And it's not enough for you.
I know. Oh my gosh, I just realized I forgot to turn. John went out of town, and so I cranked up the heat to, jungle temps like I like it, and he's coming back today, and I forgot to turn it down. Oops. Anyway, why don't we just talk about the start of the year? Because there's been a lot of change. We both had a very busy December, right?
Yeah.
Busy end of the year. And then so the first of the year, I go for my annual face fry on January 2nd, fry off my face, go to the mountains with my mom for a couple days so I can kind of think about the year, because I don't find it, I have a hard time thinking about the year during the holidays because I'm go.
Yeah.
I mean, socially, that's the busiest time for me.
Oh,
it's
God,
the only time I do anything.
Relaxing.
No.
Yeah.
And then we were working. I had definitely the most stressful deal of my year that didn't close until the beginning of January. But anyway, and then you were up in the mountains the first part of the year, weren't you?
I was checking on the mountain house, hanging out with COVID.
Oh, shit. Yeah. But how's the mountain house going in terms of rentals and stuff?
I'm only getting one group of guests per month, but that is perfectly fine with me.
Okay.
I don't want it to be, road hard. And we had this one group that had 3 kids, and I'm like,
you heard that, right? Did everybody hear that? that noise she just made?
I could see on the back porch camera that they were the parents never stepped foot outside. They would let the kids just stand out there and play in the gas fire pit. So they would they were roasting marshmallows. First of all, they would take their stick and light it on fire and then go set it down on the furniture, and it would burn a hole in had to replace cushion covers. Sent them a bill for it. But then when we got up there, we found all this melted marshmallow goo on the inside fireplace logs, which is also gas.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm just like, oh, children. Yeah. And I know it's not every child, but these parents just, were clearly there for a vacation and didn't want to parent.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with one group of guests. I'm renting it because I legally have to, because I did a 1031 exchange, not because I want to or want to make money off of it. So, honestly, the fewer rentals, the better. I'm happy with that.
Well, let me tell you what's going on in Hendersonville. It's a total shit show. So my mom and I go up, and it's awesome just to spend time with her for a few days at the beginning of the year. And so we, of course, went and fluffed and decorated and got new light fixtures and all this stuff to make it more beautiful. But she is self-managing, and she's 75. My dad is 81. And so it's just a lot. I mean, I think it's ridiculous, but the property doesn't cash flow unless we do it that way.
Right.
And we interviewed 3 property managers, and she just acted like she considered all of them and wasn't willing to. But we had to replace the drain line. We had a plumbing issue there. It's all the things that you're talking about. We had some guests that turned it up to 85 inside. Oh. Yeah. And so now they have to get a lock for the thermostat, but there's always something. And, with my Park Circle property, I have a property manager, so I never hear about any problems, which is amazing. And that's what I want. So this isn't working for me. So we're talking about putting it on the market and getting rid of it, because it's just way too much work. It's just way, it's constant.
You didn't buy it to enjoy it like I did. I love the mountains.
I bought it because my mom and dad wanted an Airbnb, and I was like, well, I'll go in with you.
Yeah.
But we hired a property manager to start. I never thought that they would be managing it themselves.
Right. And if you enjoyed going there more, breaking even would be okay.
Oh, I don't give a shit about it. I really don't. I mean, because again, and it's funny, Ryan Reichland called me the other day, and he was beating me up about my investment choices. as per usual. And he was, I just said, I'm banking on appreciation. Like, I think the location that we're in Hendersonville is going crazy. And I'm like a long-term thinker. So his thing with any investment property, like he's like, I just bought something in Missouri and I'm already cash flowing. I'm like, good for fucking you.
Missouri.
Watch that thing appreciate. Just kidding.
Right.
So, I mean, I just don't care. I'm like, I'm going to own this thing for 30 or 40 years and just keep it forever. And it's going to be worth millions. And it was just like a way for my parents and I to connect and bond and spend more time together. And we have done that, but it has been extremely stressful for them and they won't let go of the management. And they care about the cash flow because they're older.
Right.
So, I'm just like, put yourself out of your misery. So, we've contacted the real estate agent. We won't have a gain on it or anything. We haven't even owned it 2 years, but we won't have a gain on it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm very glad to not have to deal with property managing.
Yeah.
Like I did in my Park Circle Airbnb. I mean, it was exhausting.
Yeah.
And now this week is the first time that we've had to deal with winterizing because it's going to get down, to like the teens and stay there for a while. And, we're not there. So you to keep the heat on. And I don't know, what do you do with water pipes? But again, not my problem.
Yeah. Invest in real estate. Okay. So then what's been going on with business for you this month?
Definitely, buyers have a renewed optimism for the market. Like I would say the first week of January, just because it was still kind of holiday-ish, was medium busy. And then like out of nowhere, it was like pedal to the metal. I've got buyers out the wazoo. I've got listings coming to the market. I'm working, I'm honestly on my computer or at appointments from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Every day, including Saturday and Sunday. I have been slammed.
Where have the buyers come from? Were they buyers that were in the market last year that just decided to?
One of them, I haven't shown her a house since 2020.
Okay.
That was the last time we wrote an offer and the last time we looked at anything. One of them, she was not really in the market, but she was renting in a building and she works from home and she got a new neighbor whose dog barks incessantly and it drives her crazy. Mm-hmm. She's my sister in noise sensitivity. Mm-hmm. And so she is buying some other, all local people though. Because I have some other friends who were they short-term rented their current house because it was too small, and then they moved into a rental just to take some time and figure out where they wanted to be. Now that rental is coming up, and so they're buying my listings. It's all people moving out of town.
Same for me.
So,
which is really interesting, but it's job relocation and then people who are moving to be closer to family.
Yep.
So
I have job relocation and one fell in love. So
that's awesome.
She's moving to him.
Yeah, I mean, and so I went for 2 listings where I didn't know the people, never met them before, and I was one of many being interviewed. They had like a day of back-to-back agent interviews. I don't know why anybody would do that to themselves. I think you should space out the crazy of that. But and I told Tori about the one that I went to and I was like, I'm not going to get it. And she's like, you're going to get it because you're so honest. And I was just totally honest. And I was the last one of the day and they were exhausted and I could kind of tell I'm not used to having to pitch myself. Like 90% of the listings I get are like, they are not considering anybody else. So it's so good for me because I have to bring my A game, which I do anyway, but I have to think about things differently. And I'm not used to having to tell people why they would work with me. It feels so weird and unnatural to do that. But it's really good for me. And then the other ones, I don't know. We just clicked right away. I mean, it was just, I felt I walked away thinking that I was going to get it, but I think I do get the majority of the stranger listing appointments that I go on, but the ones that I lose when I look at who they list with, I'm like, ugh, like it's somebody who's so different from me that I'm just not their person,
right.
And anyway,
Yeah, I haven't been on a listing appointment for strangers in, I think, years.
Yeah. But it's good.
It's good practice.
It's good practice. I mean, yes, definitely good practice. And I'm really excited to have listings. The market's good.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
just listed one. It went under contract right away. The other two that I'm going to get, I'm going to sell in a weekend.
Yeah.
Like, so the market is really good.
Yep. I
right
have a
now.
listing coming later today downtown. And then the one I listed last week, it went on the market Tuesday night, had 12 showings over 2 days and got 3 offers.
Awesome.
And then, some people canceled their showings because they booked a showing past the offer deadline. It's like, we're not going to drag this out for a week or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely off to the races. If this is January,
I know.
I don't know what the heck February, March, April is going to be like, but
I know. Usually that's the thing is it usually doesn't like January is when everybody starts calling me to get the
Right.
list. They're like, we're thinking about selling this year. We're thinking about buying this year, but like it doesn't start happening, but we are all working. And in the Smith Spencer office, like Cynthia's told us a bunch of people are getting listings. She's doing a bunch of contracts. Like everybody seems pretty busy.
she said that we have more contracts on the month of February than we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. And also January's not over, so there's room to add more. You know what else is good practice?
What?
Is we had 2 meetings yesterday with
Oh, new
agents that are
agents. Yeah.
new to in the industry, not
Yeah.
just like new to us. And when they reach out, I explain to them that we don't have a new agent training program because we just don't have the bandwidth right now. And, but we're happy to take the meeting and sit down with them and tell them where we think they should go and why, and an honest look of what it's going to be like in this industry for them. Because as we've learned in the past, we're kind of like talking at them and their faces, like their eyes get wide and they're like, no one's had this conversation with me before. They all are just like cheerleaders and saying, like, you're going to be great. I can really see you, you've got salesmen in you and blah, blah, blah. And then when we go in and like tell them the good and the bad and the ugly, mostly the bad and the ugly. And they're just like, wow. And so we had 2 more of those conversations yesterday and
Yeah. Well, they were both so different. Both of those women were very different. And so one has just moved back to town and is a single mom and, doesn't have a lot of free time to go out and build her network. So we told her to join a team, which would give somebody experience, immersion. So yeah, somebody takes a bunch of your commission, but you're doing deals. I mean, that's the fastest way to learn real estate.
And she needs leads. I mean, she doesn't have her own network.
Yeah.
So.
And then the other one was uncertain. That surprised me the most. I think that's the first time we've asked somebody like, because most people will ask like, what do you want your career to look like? And they're like, oh, I'm going to crush it. And she was like, I don't really know. I said, are you going to be a full-time or a part-time agent? And then I went on my soapbox. Ooh, I mean, I just like, I do not like part-time agents. Okay. Like, and I don't want people getting in the business that want to do it part-time. Please stop. You have a huge responsibility. I don't think people realize that. And if you're selling 2 or 3 houses a year, you have no business doing deals because you have no idea what's happening. How can you possibly guide somebody? There's just no way. So.
But she didn't even know. She hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I know.
Which to me was like, wait, you're going to take you just went through real estate school and had no idea what it was going to look like for you.
Yeah. See how it goes though. I do think that a lot of people are like that that they're licensed. They don't, I mean, we haven't had that because I think most of the people that we attract are super driven because I think we come across like that. Yeah. I don't think somebody who is like, oh, I'm just going to dilly-dally is going to come into a room with us,
Yeah. And the other thing is, and I had some random agent reach out over Instagram and she wasn't necessarily asking to come to Smith Spencer, but she was like, I'm finishing up my courses and I want to know what you look for in an agent. And the number one thing I said was somebody who's got to work to eat.
Yeah.
Like the ones who have rich husbands and they're just doing this for fun, like, what's your motivation?
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you're just a driven person.
Yeah, but a lot of them aren't.
Yeah.
Because they haven't had to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm not trying to tear down those women or anything, but it's like the people we want on our team are hungry.
Yeah. You have to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
So we're tough. Don't call us unless you are too. Anything else? Observations from the month of January?
No, it is nice to see like buyers feeling good.
Yeah.
And like motivated. I will say, that, you know, the Fed kind of like indicated that there might be 3 interest rate drops this year, but we also had like a banging good jobs report the first Friday of January. And then like the Dow capped out at like, you know, its highest numbers ever. And so to me, when consumer confidence is up, people are spending more, then that could lead to the inflation not going lower as they planned. And so I'm saying that because I don't want anybody banking on interest rates going lower.
Right.
Is it likely? Maybe, you know, there's a good chance,
Eventually.
but there's also a good chance that they don't for a while.
Yeah. But it's just because you have to poo-poo on things sometimes.
Me specifically?
Yeah, I'm saying we were just talking about how great it was, and then she, you know.
No,
but
I'm just pragmatic. I like to manage expectations.
anyway, because remember, everybody, when we were doing our projections for 2024, Erin made me slash everybody's
Yes.
production in half.
Under promise, over deliver.
Okay,
That'll take you far.
We're prepared for the worst.
Yeah, we are.
Anyway, thank God I picked her. Love you. Anyway, well, let's wrap this one up.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Check us out at Between Two Brokers and at Smith Spencer Real Estate on Instagram, and we will see you next time.